Alright, fuckers, welcome back to Practicing Portraits, an artwod roadmap, right? Artwod is the best platform in the world to teach you how to draw forms and manipulate them such that you can draw things like this from imagination. I've been drawing for 3 years and 6 months, right? I'm not affiliated, I'm a luck dick writer. And yeah, the whole point is literally like, it's not to draw like me, but Artwod teaches you to get really good with forms and form manipulations and understanding that form is essentially the fundamental to be able to draw from imagination and create your own worlds, right? I'm not requesting that you create worlds like these, I'm outright demanding it. So, I actually had a much better intro planned, but yeah, this channel aims to prove that anybody can draw, and more than anything, that the fundamentals are literally the most fucking important thing. It's probably very uncomfortable as a beginner to listen to this and be like, oh no, I'm avoiding my responsibilities. Like, no, you're capable of this. You're capable of this 100 times more, because if I can do it, you can do it. So come on, get your pen, get your paper, and draw along with me, please, and thank you. Oh, also for full transparency's sake, I did draw a couple hours like for roughly 2 hours a couple days ago. I forgot to say in the last video, but here you go. Right, like this is not that good, but I tried drawing, like I was looking at houses and shit. I was trying to draw a house from imagination, right? Like this perspective I completely fucked up, by the way. Like this right here, and this was like a doodle for me, and I don't say that in like a, hey, just a casual doodle, guys, trying to fucking make myself sound better than I actually am. Like genuinely, I wasn't thinking much. Like I wasn't thinking, and when I don't think, I consider it to be a doodle, right? Like I was not thinking about really perspective, as you can tell over here is fuckery. Like this isn't a line, this doesn't make any sense, right? Like these aren't really, like I wasn't thinking about trying to really recall houses apart from this part, like the I guess the fucking visual language for a house, right? And then I turned it into a scene where I'm like, oh, okay, I guess there's some shit going up here. You know, I fucked up because these people are too tall, right? So like they're supposed to be smaller. So this is like a train, kind of, I guess you can kind of tell. But like they're actually standing, and because of the way I drew them, they're actually on the tracks, about to get their fucking asses run over by the train. But yeah, just for transparency's sake, I just demystified process my art progress, blah blah blah. So now you know, like, hey, he drew for an extra 2 hours. That's all you need to know. But yeah, like a cool drawing, right? And again, I've never drawn houses before. Actually, I did it once a year ago, right? So this is purely just from my understanding of form and just observing houses around me and trying it, like fucking retaining 0.05% of it, but just trying to recall like structures. Yeah. So again, power of form. Even when it's shit, it's the power of form, right? I don't say that in a derogatory way, by the way. I just have very, very high standards, which is nothing less than perfection. But yeah, draw along. Please get your pen, get your paper, draw along, right? So what are we doing? We are doing the artwod portrait roadmap, right? I do 100 times the work that they require of you, and I request that you also do the 100 times amount of work that anything is required of you in order to even be halfway mediocre like myself, right? Because it requires 1,000 times work to be even good. So I'm not there yet. When I get there, I'll probably be saying the same shit. So yeah, let's draw along. Let's put in effort, because that's all we can control. And you are 100% capable of it. You, the listener, who's like, wow, he's really glazing me. Yes, I am. Now keep me on the background, give me retention, like, subscribe. None of my fucking audience members ever actually like, subscribe. So if you're new, please just at least give me that pity like and then fuck off. Just please, I beg of you, thank you. Now fuck off and keep me on the background. I'm literally going in circles. This is my fucking shtick that I'm just running into the ground. But what are we doing? We're looking at a portrait. We're putting a box inside that portrait. We're putting a sphere inside that box. We're putting center lines inside that sphere inside the box. We're putting cross axis, horizontal, vertical, and diagonal on each visible plane on the box itself. And we're putting and we're visualizing a center plane, vertical and horizontal, inside the box as well. Basically this fuckery, this fuckery, right? Like what else? This fuckery, yeah, like, and again, like, a lot of these are not accurate boxes, then that's another thing I'm just constantly practicing and learning. But why are we doing this? It's to create a mental model, right, a 3D simulation, which not only improves your spatial reasoning, because again, this is 90% of my practice, as you'll see from my fucking year 4 playlist, right, and this is 10% of my application, where I just play around. So none of this looks good, but the point is the fact that when you improve your ability to spatially reason across these dozens of calculations and transferable domains, such as the relationship between the space, how it resides in space, right? The seeing through the form, calculating within the space. Center the page, right? It is highly transferable. That's why it's called a fundamental, and not just, hey, I'm just drawing lines, right? Anyways, so I encourage you to draw along with me. I've already started thinking, because drawing is thinking, right? And right now I'm trying to, my biggest goal is always to zoom out and to really see the perspective grid. Right now I'm trying to zoom out and trying to see the sphere. I'm trying to see the box encompassing the sphere and try the accurate box. And I really like this. I've been focusing a lot more on foreshortened faces, or at least in the sense that where like the front plane of the face is much narrower, cannot speak narrower, such that it forces me to actually understand how the face looks when it's faced away from us, right? I said face a lot for no reason, when it's turned away from us, right? But anyways, and by the way, today I did not want to draw. For anybody who's still here, I guess I didn't want to draw. So if I can not draw, not want to draw, and then continue to draw, so can you, because nothing separates me from you apart from 12 inches, right? So we got this. We all got this. But I need to really zoom out. And the whole point of me, I'm constantly changing the angle every repetition. This is called interleaving, right? It tests. And right now, the first repetition tests what my construction of the schema, because these are all schemas, all these spatial relations, all these spatial calculations, this fused mental model of the box, the sphere inside the box, the center lines inside the sphere inside the box, the center planes inside the sphere. Inside the box, the ellipses inside the center planes, right? The calculations, the cross axes on each visible plane, all that shit is just testing, like when I change the angle, like that's a schema, by the way, but that's testing not my working memory, because art drawing is thinking, right? You're always constantly taxing your working memory, but it's also testing the schema and the application of this, like this model in my mind in a different angle. Like, do I actually understand what it is that I'm drawing? Right? Like, do I actually understand it? Do I understand the 3D space of what I'm trying to envision? And right now, slowly but surely, I'm slowly seeing the sphere. I've been constantly losing the center plane, but I'm trying to see the center plane. The front plane for this box might be a bit too large, and I'm constantly trying to zoom out. And again, this drawing in the background is a fucking obstruction, right? So I need to ignore that. I need to just keep thinking. By the way, I had a fucking dream. It was a fucking nightmare for me. I couldn't draw. I was like trying to draw something in my dream, and I couldn't. My lines were like this thick, right? And they were like super bad. Like in relation to my current skill level, I felt like a beginner again. I was like, what the fuck? It was actually a nightmare. I was like, what's going on, man? All that work, right? It was so jarring. But anyways, every time I look at the portrait and then I look back, I'm trying to analyze the portrait right now to understand the orientation of the box in of itself. But it's very difficult. It's very difficult for me to zoom out. So I'm constantly trying to zoom out. Of course, the ghosting is going to help too. Now that I'm doing this, I'm also trying to think about the cross axis of the front plane. Because again, these narrow front planes 100% test my understanding. And again, this box, this is 100% an obstruction, right? It's literally a visual impediment to my calculation because it's distracting. So I need to keep ignoring it and build the ability to zoom out, which is what I'm doing right now. I'm really trying to calculate the sphere, the perfect sphere, and I'm trying to put it here perfectly, not perfectly, specifically to essentially build the ability to locate it and ignore this drawing in the background, but like, and place it in that location consistently and ignore it in the background. And right now I'm really trying to calculate the front cross axis like this, right? Like this. I'm really trying to calculate that, right? Because the angle roughly that I'm looking at is the front of her face is like this, and then the side of her face is like this, right? Her ear is like this, that angle. But again, the ear is not reflective of the actual box in of itself. It's just reflective of the angle, because the face is angled. It's like our face, it's obviously more organic than this, but if we're going by pure geometric calculations, it's the ear to the eye to the ear angle is actually the cutout, right? And then the box in of itself is what's like being cut out from. So we have to be able to discern that, right? Very difficult, incredibly difficult. I want to be very clear. That's incredibly difficult. Took me a fucking 60 hours just to notice that properly and be like, oh shit, I've been drawing it wrong the entire time, right? And that's all evidenced now too, like it's all cataloged. You'll see my struggles. Watch every video to really understand every struggle, right? Or draw along, whatever. But anyways, I'm really trying to, and again, like dude, like this is so difficult because this is genuinely testing. It's genuinely testing my schema. Like it's actually, because I haven't done this angle and rotated. And you see that even the ellipse that I'm ghosting was too wide just there. So now I'm trying to fix that. And ghosting is basically the bridge between your prefrontal cortex, which is what's really taxing your working memory when you're trying to spatially reason. By the way, I'm narrating as well. So my parietal lobe was also working in conjunction with my prefrontal cortex and also my motor cortex as well when I apply, right? But ghosting is the bridge between your motor cortex and your prefrontal lobe, right? In the sense that like it allows you to essentially visualize a little bit easier because you're ghosting, while also at the same time, like what's it called? It's reducing the cognitive load on applying the line as well, because again, you're ghosting. It's this very, very, very useful tool, right? But that's the thing, like you want to ghost and then you also want to, yeah, you want to ghost, but you also at the same time don't want to ghost to the point where that's all you do. You want to commit as well, right? You want to commit. And right now I'm really struggling with visualizing. By the way, I want to be very clear. I've completely lost the sphere and the box and the center lines multiple times, but I'm constantly trying to zoom in, and I'm constantly trying to think about the center plane as well, right? Like I'm really, and this fucking drawing in the background is a huge obstruction, right? So I'm gonna take a step back. I'm gonna rest my brain. I encourage you to do so as well, and then we're gonna keep trying. And the thing is, like, here is an opportunity, by the way. Let me slurp on my coffee for a second. But I want to be very clear. What I'm experiencing right now, this practice session, is technically, if I had a poor mindset, and many beginners, right, people who just aren't used to being shit, is a bad practice session. Like, this technically is a bad practice session. Why? Because I cannot visualize this now being rotated like this, right, and like the box angle being faced away and all that shit. Like, this is something that my brain has not put the work in to understand at all, right? So I have to like constantly zoom out and calculate it. And I can, when I say visualize, I mean I'm just trying to think. Like I can't see. Like the sphere I see is this. Like this is, and I literally mean like it's broken up like this. This is just like a rough example. The box I see is like this. And it's constantly wrong too. It's like constantly like the bottom angle is changing. It's like fucking fluctuating. That's normal. Like it's just all wrong. But this is where you lean in to the discomfort, because this is exactly where you want to be. This constant shit, right? And I don't see it in a mean way. Like you fucking replace shit with any other nice word. Oh, this friction, this discomfort, right? This incapability, right? Is the learning journey. You know, it is the learning journey, and this is where. And again, I just saw the box for a second. I just saw the sphere for a second, right? Like, but this is exactly, and I'm trying to calculate exactly where the sphere is curved at the bottom here. And again, like while I'm doing that, I'm also trying to think about the center ellipse and the horizontal center plane and the ellipse inside of it, which is the center contour line for the sphere, right? Like that's what's being seen through, but I can't really visualize it really at all, because when I think about that, immediately I actually lose a sphere when I just think about those center contour lines, right? Like not even just the plane, just the contour lines, because again, my schema is being fucking tested right now. This is why this is gonna take me, I have 130 hours, I roughly calculated, of practice for this specific schema building at the end of the year, but remaining in the year, right? And I don't see, like I see myself maybe getting like a 30% boost in application, but this is incredibly difficult. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to visualize the entire thing right now. Okay, so right now I'm really trying to see the entire, I'm trying to zoom out too, but I'm really trying to see the sphere, the box that's encompassing the sphere, right? The accurate side plane angle, the cross axis, you know, the diagonal, horizontal, vertical, cross axis, everything. And then I'm trying to see the center plane, trying to see the ellipse, and then obviously, and each the horizontal, vertical, center plane, and then obviously again the sphere that's encompassing all of that. I can't see any of that because again, this fucking drawing in the background is but I struggled, but like this drawing in the background is a huge detriment to that. So I'm really trying to calculate right now. This friction is exactly what I need to be leaning into. And again, I just looked away at I'm looking at the portraiture right now, or the portrait reference. Okay, and I just realized I drew it in the wrong angle in my mind, or I've been calculating in the wrong angle, right? So it's more like this. And again, still very foreshortened. And I need to think about the overall. And now, okay, I'm just gonna make the mark now because it's time to commit, right? It's time to commit, and I'm zoomed in on that mark, but I was zoomed out initially when I was doing it, right? And let's see, it's something like this, right? And this is where the box is going to be made. And this is where I'm constantly trying to think about the sphere, and this is much larger. I have to be aware of that. It's much larger, right? And this angle is way more tilted. It's way more tilted. And I have to be aware of that as well, right? Like this is a much more tilted plane. And again, like how does the box fit into all of this, right? I'm really trying to think of the center lines, because the center lines is what's going to give my sphere that three-dimensionality, right? And I can't really see, as you can see, like that I'm not ghosting it correctly, right? Because I'm still trying to figure out how this all stays in place. And this actually might be a completely wrong, yeah, I actually did the angle completely wrong. Like the eye angle, it should be a lot more, it should be more drastic, right? But either way, I'm going to have to adjust this accordingly, and I'm really trying to see the center line. or the center planes while I'm doing this, but I can't. I'm telling you right now, I can't see shit. But I'm trying. I'm really, 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 really fucking trying to see shit, right? Which is also very important. And I think, yeah, I think I made this angle a bit too drastic as well, right? But this is amazing. Like, this is the part that feels good because I'm all around wrong. I'm just wrong. Like, there's no way around it. I'm just wrong, right? And that's exactly where I want to be. Is I just want to be constantly trying to figure out why I'm wrong, what's wrong, like how I can fix it, right? And I don't think a perfect sphere, a circle, which is a perfect, a perfect circle, which is a sphere, right? I don't think it fits inside of this, right? And now I have to like calculate why it doesn't fit inside of this, right? While also calculating the center line, the center plane, right? I'm trying to see everything. I'm really, really, really fucking trying to see everything. And I believe it's because this needs to be a bit longer, right? I think that's a bit better, actually. It could be not better, but again, as you can see, I'm not even ghosting like a good sphere, right? Yeah, I'm not even ghosting a good sphere, but okay, like I'm really struggling right now to understand what the fuck I did. Right? But let's just try to get at the very least, let me try to first visualize the center, the horizontal ellipse, right? And get at least try to think about this center plane in the ellipse, and then this center plane in the ellipse, and then the sphere inside of that. And I'm struggling a lot. I want to be very clear. Like, dude, my schema, my mental model, my working memory is constantly taxed. I'm trying to hold in dozens of calculations. Every time I look here, I'm trying to think about this cross axis, this. But then when I see here, I think about, okay, this is the center plane. But then when I see that, I'm trying to think, I'm like, oh, okay, there's an ellipse here, right? So it's about constantly being aware. And I'm really, really, really trying to push my mind to be more accurate. But again, you can only do that through repetition, right? Like, you can only be accurate through repetition and through constant exposure to inaccuracy, right? Like, right now I'm really trying to ghost this properly while I'm also trying to think about the center plane, while I'm also trying to think the horizontal and vertical center plane, while I'm also trying to think about this, because I don't think about this cross axis enough, right? This diagonal one. So I'm trying to think about that as well. Okay, so like, give me 1 second. I don't know why I'm fucking prepping you. You should be drawing as well. But I guess I'm talking out loud. I'm trying to be very clear and articulate in what I'm thinking about because I'm constantly losing these dozens of calculations, right? But right now, main thing is like, I'm really trying to think about that sphere. And it's the wrong angle. Like, I've already gotten the wrong angle down, and that's okay. But I'm really trying to think about the sphere because this needs to be the correct box, right? This really needs to be the correct, or not needs to be, but a sense of urgency actually does help you learn better. So I would like for it to be the correct box, right? Like, I would really like for it to be the correct box. So I'm gonna zoom out. I'm gonna really zoom out. I'm gonna just do my best to try to understand and ensure that what I'm applying makes sense. I'm really zoomed out right now, but again, I'm only looking on this side, so I need to be zoomed out on all sides, right? And again, while I'm doing this, like, every time I stop and take a step back, I'm constantly trying to think about the center plane and the ellipse, which is wrapped around, right? Because what the fuck? Being able to see through the form is the most important thing. Like, being able to like have that X-ray vision. It's funny. Antonio, the creator of artwod, I always dick ride artwod, but I never dick ride Antonio. So let me slurp a little bit more, right? Like, Antonio, the creator of artwod, explicitly, he put out a short. Artwod put out his channel, artwod channel, put out a short yesterday, basically talking about how X-ray vision is probably one of the best skills you can build when it comes to seeing form, because it allows you to understand what's going on behind the form itself, right? And like, that's a very useful skill. That's a very useful skill. This is not a perfect cube. This is not a good cube in perspective. I think I should have definitely reduced this by around this much, but then would that have resulted in a better sphere? I don't know. We'll have to see. But I'm really trying to visualize. And again, I'm having trouble just even seeing this center plane because I haven't seen a center plane in this angle, and that is testing my schema, right? Look at that. I didn't even do that properly, like the calculation, right? Yeah, there you go. And then it stops right around there. Okay, see, and now this is my ellipse. Something like, well, that's not really that good, but this is my ellipse, right? Something like this. And again, like, you can see, I don't really draw ellipses this large. So, and then I have to think about the overall sphere, This is okay. I don't think this is horrible in terms of the sphere that I drew. There's definitely issues, like this line of itself just being not that well articulated, right? And I'm zoomed in right now, but I'm trying to zoom out and still think about the overall fucking connection, but this is not a good box. I want to be very clear. This is not a good box in perspective at all, because this is more accurate to what people draw for mannequins when it comes to a portrait. I want to be very clear. Like, this is actually like much more accurate for the type of box that the head is, right? It's a more narrow box, right? It's actually slightly not tapered. Yeah, it's just like slightly narrower, but I'm trying to draw a perfect cube and get that angle down. So this is not that good in that sense, and this in of itself is not really a good like perspectively accurate box either. So there's like a million issues that are going wrong, and I definitely made the angle way too much for this. This top angle should have been something more like that. You see, that's a bit more subtle. I don't know if you can tell, but it should have been something more like this, right? That is, and if you can't tell the difference between this, like this and this, it's literally like a couple millimeters, but that means that you have the ability to improve your ability to discern that. But I'm gonna rest my brain again, because that's very taxing. Again, what has been fucking 21 minutes, right? It's all mental, guys. It's all mental, and girls, but it's all mental. Like, it's literally all fucking cognitive effort and the friction you put and the feel that you feel, and like constant working memory, constantly using your brain's energy to try to balance all these things and focus on them, right? And you fail. And I failed. I've been failing. This is a complete fucking failure, right? And that's a good thing, because I'm constantly learning about what to do and what not to do. And again, you feel good when you make these mistakes, because as long as you can discern they are mistakes and you attribute positive feelings to them, that is literally when your brain's learning in the background. And again, my schema is being tested. I've never drawn, I don't think I've really drawn this specific like intensive mental model and like visualize all of this in this angle before, right? Like, and it's, plus this is not just like a normal bottom angle, this is a diagonal, this is a tilted bottom angle, right? So like these little nuances, again, it's all constantly testing your ability to draw things in a different space, right? Like, no matter how different or slight that nuance is. So yeah, rest your brain. I wonder if anybody can ever hear my parents just talking in the background outside my room, or just slamming the door shut. I fucking hate that in this, because I live in the basement, right? Just as a little Viggy lore, right? This will be the basement era for who knows how fucking long, but there's like a little Viggy lore is the fact that sound travels like shit in this house, bro. Like, I can hear fucking everything. It's so painful. Already it's horrible. The basement. By the way, I'm thinking about this diagonal cross axis, this one as well, this one as well. There's not a good sphere in here. But actually there could be. Hold up. Let me try to visualize it. And while I'm doing this ghosting, I'm really trying to zoom out and think about the overall horizontal cross contour and the vertical contour that is based on this center, right? So again, like it's like a constant balance of trying to calculate, like zoom in a little bit, right? And I say zoom in and zoom out in terms of just focusing on a specific area, or like having a more expansive focus, right? Where like it's encompassing the entire thing that you're drawing. But that's what I mean by zoom in and zoom out, right? I guess, I don't know, it's hard to fucking articulate myself as well when I'm literally, my brain is dying. But anyways, like while I did that, I was just zoomed in on that. But I'm really trying to think about the overall what's it called, the see-through nature, right? Like, again, trying to understand the ellipse, which is the contour lines for the sphere. Like, I'm zoomed in here because obviously I want to make the line good, right? But the whole point is to not just make the line good. Obviously, the whole point is to fucking see everything, to see the line going through, and to zoom out, and to understand what it is that you're drawing. Like right now, while I'm doing this, I'm doing my absolute best. Am I succeeding? Not really, but I'm doing my absolute best to see the sphere and the ellipse that's inside these center planes, right? Like, am I succeeding? No, I want to be very clear, like not really at all, but I'm trying so hard, and that's why my line is suffering too. My line was super thick there, right? It's suffering. It's always suffering. Everything is fucking garbage. Let's be completely honest with ourselves, right? But the point is that I'm trying. Like, look at him, he's trying. Everybody give him a pat on the back because he's trying. I'll say this: art or like skill acquisition is the one time that a participation trophy actually makes a difference. As long as that participation trophy has a fine print that said you tried your fucking hardest every single time, right? Like, I don't think we should be giving participation trophies for the general, like, look at me, I showed up. But showing up and just trying for even a little bit, there's a key difference there. There's a very key difference there. But anyways, trying to see everything, right? Trying to see what the fuck is going on, right? And again, this is not a good box, right? Like if I draw a sphere here, I think, let's see, I'm trying to like go visualize this. Yeah, I think this was a bit too wide, right? Or is this good? I don't know. I'm trying to think. Well, it's not good in the sense that like it's not a box in perspective. This is like, even if we were to see this box like front on, right, this would not suddenly get wider. So that's another thing. Like I think it has to be slightly smaller like this. Like I think it literally has to be like even more accurate. But still, it's just not good. It's just not good. And I don't have the answer to this, by the way. I don't have the answer to say that like, oh yeah, like I see it all. Like I see why it isn't good. No, I'm gonna try to figure it out and try to understand it, right? Because it's incredibly difficult. It's incredibly difficult, but it's okay, right? Like that's the part where I'm just gonna keep trying and keep struggling to make. And again, now I have to think about the proportions. I'm looking at the reference, right? Well, I'm also like, again, I'm trying to draw these features while I'm constantly looking back and forth from the reference to understand the placement of these features. But at the same time, I'm also, and I'm zoomed in right now, like I won't be completely honest, right? I'm also trying to see the sphere in the center ellipse and everything inside of it, and like that's very difficult. Right now I'm really trying to see it, and it feels a bit better, right? Because again, this is the ellipse here, this is the ellipse here, right? And then there's a sphere. That was I really seeing it well? No, no, not at all. And this is the beautiful part, is the fact that I'm just gonna be shit for a very long time, right? Like I'm genuinely going to be absolute garbage, as per my standards, right? For a very long time, genuinely for a very long time. And I'm super zoomed in on these features. I'm trying not to be, but I am very zoomed in on these features, right? So that's another thing I just want to make clear, is like right now I'm really trying to see the perspective, but I'm not succeeding in seeing the perspective, right? And like by the perspective, I mean literally just this insane wireframe that I've been constantly trying to visualize. So I'm trying to, and again, I'm talking while I'm doing this, but I'm really like, while I'm doing this right now, I'm putting in so much energy, like while I'm drawing these features, to zoom out, right? Like to genuinely see this cross contour, and like this mental schema of like the sphere and the ellipses inside of it, right? I'm trying really fucking hard. I want to be very clear. Like I'm genuinely trying very hard. And this is in between me constantly looking back, me narrating this, on top of me constantly looking back at the portrait reference to try to get just like the general feature placement correct, and to again understand the space that it all lies on, right? This is actually like my goal. Like this is literally my goal, is to see this entire mental schema, right? This entire fuckery, like this entire wireframe, including the wraparound, by the way. But right now I just don't have the cognitive resources to allocate towards that. But my goal is to be able to see all of that, is to be able to see all of that. And again, I'm looking back at the portrait reference, and then I'm immediately trying to reconstruct and see everything, right? But my goal is to be able to see all of that, and then be able to draw features on top of it, right? First the simple features, then the manipulated features, right? Like that's the goal, by the way. Like that is the goal. That's why it's going to take me a very long time. I'm going to be very clear. Like this is the foundation that I'm building, is to literally see a 3D simulation as the foundation of the portraiture, right? Like a 3D calculated simulation, right? With the box, the sphere, the center lines of every fucking wireframe, like this diagonal, right? This center line, this diagonal, the center plane, the ellipse inside of it, the ellipse inside of that. And also while maintaining, just holding the stability constantly of the sphere, right? That is the goal. That's literally the fucking goal. So it's gonna take a lot of time. It's genuinely gonna take a lot of time, right? And let's see. For lips, again, like I'm not really gonna say I understand lips or anything right now. I understand the concept of lips, right? Like, I know they are a slightly inflated cylinder, right? That it's a 3D form. Like that's the simple. And I've seen the artwod videos, I've seen all that, but have I practiced it? Fuck no. So do I have the right to say I understand it? Fuck no, right? I want to make that very clear. Like if you have not practiced something, you do not have the right to say that you understand it. You only have the right to say that you can conceptualize it, right? Right, like same thing, like if what I'm doing right now, if you can't do this, right, like if you actually can't do it, even to the shit degree that I'm doing it, right, but if you're incapable of doing what I'm doing, you can only say you understand it in theory, and that applies to everything. Like that applies to me as well, right? Like, and again, while I'm drawing these forms, I completely zoomed out or zoomed in, and I couldn't see the entire mental model, but I'm trying really, really hard right now. And again, it doesn't help that the fucking, what's it called? What the fuck am I saying? It doesn't help that all these drawings or all these, like like these features that I have put on top of it are an obstruction, right? They're an obstruction to what I'm actually trying to see, right? And it doesn't help that I drew it incorrectly as well, and I'm really focusing. I'm like, right now while I'm looking at this, I'm really trying to visualize the entire sphere underneath, right? The perfect circle where the center ellipses, you know, vertical and horizontal. I'm really trying to see all of that, but these are all obstructions now that exist on top of that, right? And by the way, just in case you're wondering, how is this even related to perspective? This is how. Let me just give a general, there you go, that's the center, and then we bring it like so. That's the side plane, right? Let's she got like her hair, something like that, right? And then we got, so I'm not gonna be doing this well at all, but I'm just trying to make a point, is like, it is all thought about. Like, it is literally all part of the perspective that we need to understand, right? And then that's her jaw, right? And then this is like the other side of her jaw. You don't really see, or like the neck, right? And then this is the neck. See, if we go and bring the sphere all the way around, like so, let's see, her hair is like this, right? And then her hair is obviously, it's on top of that sphere. It's resting on top of it, but it is following, as you can see, the sphere. And then boom, this is the neck. Ta-da! Wow, would you look at that? He actually understands the fucking perspective. No, I thought he was just drawing random symbols. Right? That's what, that is literally like how I'm thinking about it. But what I'm actually doing my absolute best to think about is this. Right? Like, these drawings don't fucking matter. It's the mental model that matters. At the end of my fucking, like, once I get decent at portraiture, like, at the end of the day, what I'll be doing is I'll just be drawing shapes inside a mental model. That's something that I want to make it very clear. Like, this is actually what I'm literally trying to visualize at all times, right? Like, am I succeeding? No, I want to be very clear. I'm not succeeding, but I'm trying to visualize it, right? I'm trying to understand it. See, I didn't even get the center line correct there. So you can see that there's a lot of work to be done, right? And then let's see, let me see if I can get the, I need to like understand the sphere a little bit better. This perfect circle, right? It needs to touch the edges, right? Much like your father touched you at night. Let's see, like, that's the sphere, you know. And then we have the center line, something like this. This is the center ellipse that I'm trying to visualize, right? It's the contour of the sphere. Same thing here, right? I'm trying to really, and I mean really, really fucking understand it, right? That's the horizontal center ellipse. And you see, like, it's, and I didn't draw the sphere accurately, and I'm pretty sure I fucked up the vertical center line, like the vertical ellipse. Obviously, you can see that's way too harsh of a turn. But this is the mental model that I'm building, right? That is literally what I'm trying to see at all times, right? The face is a byproduct of just being within the space of this mental model. But the mental model is what I'm building. Anyways, I'm gonna rest my brain, and then we're gonna do the hard part, the actual hard part, because this is not even the hard part. This is hard, obviously, extremely difficult, because I've never done it in this angle, right? Like, with this degree of fidelity in my mind, right? And by the way, the fidelity has flickered 100 times, fucking 1,000 times. I did not see this. I'm trying to see this, but I did not see this in this angle. In other angles, I can see it a lot easier, but in this angle, it's like nothing. It's just fucking gone consistently, right? And that's normal, by the way. Like, every new angle is a test of your schema, your mental model, your working memory, right? All that shit. Cognitive endurance, like, ability. But anyways, rest your brain, please. Thank you. But yeah, it's fun. Don't get me wrong. This is very fun. I guess nobody really got me wrong in the first place, but I guess I should clarify. I'm having a lot of fun with this extreme cognitive effort. Like, genuinely, it's been 34 minutes for this, by the way, right? And I only bring up the time just because I think people, I've noticed a lot of beginners or people just unskilled in anything thinks they should be able to do it at the speed of the people they look up to, right? And you don't look up to me, so it's very clear that I do it at a very slow speed because I'm not that good, right? I'm just not that good, but that's the good part, is the fact that I'm not that good. So now is the difficult part, right? Which is I have to visualize this entire fuckery here, and then also wrap around an additional three-dimensional shape right? Which follows that same logic, but it has nuance. It has depth, as you can see. It has depth, right? And it has to wrap around, right? And then this also follows the perspective. This has depth, and then it's, oh look, it's actually a box jutting out, right? It has depth. It all has depth, which is very difficult, which is very good, because again, I want, and I don't even think I drew this as, like, my mental model is pretty small here, right? So that's another thing. Like, my schema was being tested because I clearly could not think in terms of this size. You see just like a change in angle, and immediately like the size of the schema is slightly smaller and more inaccurate in terms of just a box in and of itself, right? So once again, let me think about, and this is incredibly difficult because I have to think about the entire mental model, and I'm, bless me, really, oh bless me, I really have to test my brain, really have to push my brain. So I might be quiet here for a few seconds, right? Fucking, this is a saving grace for all of you. Like, god damn it, finally, shut the fuck up. But, hey man, I'm just trying to narrate the process, so 10 years from now, everybody's like, wow, that's how it's done. He's just constantly thinking. Oh, look, he's really stressed. Oh, wow, he's really feeling the fucking mental burden of constant calculations, right? But that's the whole point, is, right? And again, I'm narrating so I can be an observer to my own struggles as well, right? Thinking about thinking, metacognition is like, it helps me get better as well. It's like, oh, okay, right now I'm trying to visualize the center line, the cross axis, right, the diagonal. I'm trying to envision the sphere, and this one especially, like, while I draw this, I need to make it very clear to my mind that you are not to put down this mark, right, this ellipse, until you can see the schema relatively decently. Like, that is right now my one stipulation that I'm giving to myself. It's like, you're not allowed to put it down unless you actually understand what it's wrapping around, right? And that's very difficult, because what that means is, like, while I'm zooming in and trying to think about the overall ellipse, right? Because it's not that difficult to think about the ellipse, but I have to think about the wraparound and be like, oh, it is the center line for the actual schema is further back, and that is this entire fuckery where it's like, okay, diagonal, cross axis, ellipse inside of it, center plane, horizontal, vertical, ellipse inside of it, inside those center planes, right? So that is what, before I even make down a mark, I have to force my brain to constantly understand that, right? And right now I'm really trying to zoom out and see the sphere. I'm genuinely really trying to zoom out and see that sphere that everything resides under. But again, all these drawings behind are an obstruction, which is beautiful, right? Like this, bro, I love this. Like, this is genuine taxing memory, right? Working memory taxation, all that, whatever you want to call it, cognitive endurance, right? It's just a working memory deficiency, and I'm trying so hard. And my own speech is getting in the way of my efforts, but I'm trying to articulate everything, so it's very clear what I'm struggling with, right? But let's take a step back. I'm just gonna say I'm trying to focus on the sphere and the mental model that I'm building. It needs to be larger, of course. And the thing is, like, the angle I'm thinking about it in isn't even that accurate, purely because this is a new schema, right? So not only did we stress test the schema in and of itself in terms of its construction, now we have to stress test it again in terms of construction, and then stabilize it, because we have a 3D wraparound that's testing the stabilization. Oh, what the fuck, I'm taking my throat. Stabilization, right? So, okay, so lots of thinking going on, and I'm just trying to get an idea. And this is good. Like, this extreme friction, I feel so good. Like, I just forced myself to feel good right there. Again, that's how you attach dopamine. You just force yourself to feel good. At the beginning, I had a shit-eating grin on my face like this. I was like, error. I just kept repeating error to myself for every error that I noticed. But now, again, it's like when you attribute a lot of things that are definitely errors, or even could be slightly errors, to being errors, and you attach dopamine, that you're just giving your brain more fuel to be like, this was wrong. So right now, like, everything I'm doing is wrong. Like, I can't see the sphere, I can't see the box, I can't see anything. Oh, I just saw it for a second. I literally just saw it for a second. Guys, just for a second, I constructed it really fast. Like, I saw the box, I saw the sphere, I saw the center plane, and I saw the ellipse inside of it. And I also saw the diagonal cross-axis, just for a split second. Not even like a millisecond, but here's an indication for those of you in the future, be like, oh, just for a second, his schema was consolidated in this angle, just for a moment, right? Therefore, it's being updated in the background. Therefore, he's just constantly taxing his working memory, right? And the thing is, like, it's also to try to lean into this construction in and of itself, right? Like, that's another thing, is just to kind of, I'm also consistently trying to find the basis to, like, in how do I think, like, how do I visualize and how do I construct, what made it so I could visualize that for a second? Is it because I was trying to see it on the page? Is it because I've noticed my best visualizations are the ones where I see it kind of in my mind and kind of on the page, right? But am I being stubborn by only trying to see it on the page and not really in my mind? I'm still calculating in my mind. These are all questions I ponder, right? But Like, that's just for me to figure out, right? Like, because I can't say that I have a one-size-fits-all solution. I can only say that my way is the right way. Right? So, anyways, let's trying to calculate. What I'm trying to think about right now is the depth. The depth of this ellipse that's wrapping around, right? And to understand that, I'm gonna bring this down a bit lower because I don't want to get in the way of that because I do have that tendency to like again, like placement is a huge thing, right? So I need to think about this logically, and again I need to think about the center lines. The center lines are huge. These center lines, like being able to constantly visualize them, and this I also drew slightly inaccurately because you can see that this pretty inaccurately, because look at this ellipse. The minor axis is going this way, so I actually drew it pretty wrong, right? Because again, to draw an ellipse of that size, I struggle with. Like, I actually struggle to draw an ellipse. And not because I can't, but because literally I don't have the motor skills. Like this, again, this entire sequence, this ellipse is the fucking bane of my existence, right? Which is good, because that means I can improve that, right? Like, it doesn't matter if something is difficult. That's actually the best state to be in, is that it's difficult. And I'm trying to zoom out, trying to visualize everything, the front plane, the side plane, the box in of itself, right? Let's bring this over here. And again, this means that I'm trying to calculate the center line, right? And then the center plane, the ellipse, the center plane, the ellipse, and then bring it out. Okay, so let's bring it out here. And let's think about the box just for a second, and then I'm going to just commit. There you go. And that still might be too high up. That still might be too fucking high up, but at the very least, I have an understanding of what I'm trying to do. But I think it's definitely too high up. And I also drew the ellipse wrong. Look, it's supposed to be like this, but I did this. Right? Therefore, this thing's minor axis. Actually, wait, no, this thing's minor axis like that, but this one's slightly off like that, right? You see, like, my brain's fried. I can't even fucking tell what the minor axis is anymore. This is like I'm going back 2 years in my understanding and calculations, right? And that's what this working memory taxation does to you, right? Just like we tax the poor, you also tax your mind with effort. Not really a good joke, nor did that really say anything profound or poignant. Poignant? Did I say poignant? But fucking hell, I'm gonna rest my brain. Fuck off. You rest your brain as well. All right. Okay, cool. Let's really take our time. It's been around 40 minutes. I want to spend the rest of this time really trying to understand. Let me fraud this. There you go. Look, we fixed the ellipse, guys. But okay, so again, like, I really need to think about, like, this ellipse is wrong, but I'm still going to try to do it in the perspective that I believe is correct, right? But I need to understand the depth of this mental model. So like my actual mental model is roughly over here. Even though technically, if we look at the ellipse, right? Like because this is the nuance. This is the nuance of the depth. Is like my brain in general is struggling or was struggling for hours and hours and hours on end to understand that this has depth, right? So every time I was calculating the center, right? Every time I was calculating the center, the cross axis, everything, it was doing it from this ellipse. But that is incorrect. Right, and explaining this is actually very helpful because the schema exists back here because this has depth. And again, when I draw these lines, I immediately lose my schema, right, which I'm trying to be aware of. But that has depth. You see that, right? So that means what? And then this also thing that like the wraparound that's underneath that, right, also has depth, right? So we need to be aware of that. We need to be aware of that and be like, okay, that means my schema is here and the center is here, right? Like it's further back because, and that's something I'm really trying to keep in mind. And I'm really trying to consistently think about the schema, the center, more than anything, just the ellipse and the center plane. The ellipse isn't, the sphere, the perfect sphere, trying to make sure that it's actually like on the edge, like this one is, right? Like it's actually on the edge, right? And then thinking about, like in the sense that like the edge is close to this, this cylinder, right? Because what my brain in general has been doing is like making the edge a lot further away, which then makes the wraparound a lot larger on the other side, which then removes and completely shifts the front plane of the box. That's what's been happening here, right? Like I keep making the edge so much further away, but if it was right here, right, if it was something like this, then this wraparound, and like if this stayed exactly how it was, but then this wraparound was much closer, that would completely shift the ellipse or shift the sphere, make the sphere exactly in the place that it should be, which then would give me this foreshortened view and this the smaller front plane. So that's, again, these are all things that I have to constantly keep in my mind on top of fucking visualizing this. Right? It's amazing. It's amazing. Despite my hysterical laugh, I actually love it because that laugh is actually a reflection of how much I enjoy this, right? But anyways, like, because I still drew this ellipse slightly wrong, I'm still trying to think about the box. I'm super zoomed in. Like, I keep thinking that bottom plane thing is like really fucking with me. So I'm trying to, just for a moment, just for a brief moment, I saw the entire schema, just for like a fucking fraction of a second, right? But it was incorrect too, because it was placed incorrectly in relation to the center of this, right? But I still saw it. So I'm trying to zoom out, trying to understand, right? Really trying to understand. And you see my brain wants to create this ellipse. It wants to create this ellipse, by the way. This is the ellipse that it wants to create, but that's inaccurate. That's inaccurate because this is my horizontal center plane. So this is the ellipse I should be making, something close to that, right? It should be following. It should always be following. So again, I'm trying to zoom out. I'm really trying to think about the center plane and exactly where this center, this edge of the box is, right? And in relation to that is what I'm trying to do. And so this is, I think, exactly where my center is. So that's my center plane, right? So we actually should not be seeing much of the edge here at all. And it's mostly all here. Yeah, it's mostly all here, like the edge. Like, it's, what I'm trying to say is like there's a lot of space in the sphere over here, but there's very little here. Like, it shouldn't be more than that dot where I put right there, right? But it's amazing. Like, I fucking love this because this is a schema that's already uncomfortable and difficult for me, and now it's being stress tested in terms of its construction and stability, right? And that is forcing my brain to be like, oh, well, you gotta understand it if you're gonna test it. Like, you gotta understand it, right? Like, there's no fucking way around it. Is it actually gonna do it? Probably not. But am I trying to do it? Fuck yeah, I am, right? And again, like, before I make this ellipse as well, because it's gonna be broken up, I have to think about the overall box as well, and not just a box in terms of like the front plane. I have to think about this three-dimensional box, right? That's actually happening here and wrapping around. So, and again, like, this is actually gonna be more reflective and accurate of my, oh wait, no, it wasn't. Never mind, I'm just a fucking bullshitter. I'm a complete fucking liar, bro. This is not reflective or accurate of anything that I'm doing, and I still struggle with it. But let's see. I need to zoom out. I need to, because dude, this is so fucking difficult to think about. This is genuinely so difficult to think about. But I'm basically just trying to get the perspective as accurate as I can. There you go. Now you see, like, this curve is pretty wrong, right? Pretty wrong. I tried to fix it there, but whatever. If it didn't work, it didn't work. Oh my god, my brain is so taxed right now. Like, my brain is actually taxed. So let me just take a step back. Okay, now we try to reconstruct again. Like, what else can we do, right? Oh, and the thing is, yes, every practice session, when I go to rest my brain after, I'm always like, oh, I should have thought about it like this, and I should have thought about it like that. It's like, shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. You didn't even have the ability to do anything. Like, you literally can't think. You're telling me that you should have thought about it this way when you could not think. Like, bro, like, don't give me that shit. And that's just a reality. That's a beautiful reality of it all, is the fact that you could not think, right? But did you continue to try to think? Yes. There you go. That's all you need, right? That's all you fucking need. And again, like, I keep losing the schema, but I'm trying really hard to see it as accurately as I should, right? Let's see. So this is my center ellipse, horizontal, right? This is my vertical one. So I'm trying to see the schema accurately, obviously. And let's see. What does this look like? Because I don't want the curve to be inaccurate either, right? This is my, again, it's like this. It's way more similar to that, right? So I need it, and that's why, like, it's really difficult to draw a sphere or an ellipse disjointed. It's really difficult to draw an ellipse that's cut, you know? Like, especially something like this. you know, it's fucked because you have to think about the plane, and then you have to be like, but wait, keep the plane in mind, but also make sure you're hitting the curves, and like this line is that has that subtlety of the curve, right? It's incredibly difficult. It's incredibly fucking difficult, right? So that's what I'm just trying to do right now. My hand really wants to do a fucking unnecessarily intense curve, but that is not accurate. That is just not accurate. And again, I'm really trying to think about the box. I'm really trying to think about the sphere. I'm trying to zoom out and trying to see. And again, this is like, technically this is not the center, right? This is slightly shifted down from the center because this is the width of the wraparound, right? So I have to think about that as well. And I'm trying to think about the vertical ellipse, the horizontal ellipse, and then like how it's shifted, right? So, and let's see, it's more like this. Yeah, it's more like, let's see. And this is going to be inaccurate, but I'm very glad that I'm trying. There you go. There you go. Now it's not perfect, like at all, but now I have to think about this as the as what's also wrapping around, right? Like this is like its additional perspective, additional plane that's wrapping around while also holding the schema in my mind. So again, like I'm really fucking trying to see all of this at once. And I've already made this sphere way too small. Again, that's just a trouble I'm having, right? It's like making the wraparound encompassed within the schema rather than an additional layer on top of it, which is very difficult, don't get me wrong. And I feel good. The fact that I made that mistake feels really good to me, right? Because I'm just trying. So I think it's right around here, and I have to keep the ellipse in mind, or the perfect sphere in mind, right? It's something like this, right? This is my schema. It's so small now. It's so fucking small now, but it's what it is, right? And there you go. So we'll do something like, and again, like on top of this schema, or just this angle already being difficult for me to draw, I struggle quite a bit with I'll tell you, to be completely honest, I was just completely focused on my motor skills there, and I could not visualize anything, and I was just using this as like a basis of understanding like what I've already done here, because like my motor skills, like this angle, like I've said multiple times now, I struggle with quite a fucking bit. But now I'm gonna try to zoom out and to apply it, and I can't really see anything. Oh, see, it got too thin at the end. I couldn't really see anything there. I genuinely could not see anything there, but I'm constantly trying to see, right? I'm constantly trying to understand. And that's really all that matters. I'm gonna keep saying like that's really all that matters, right? Because I have evidence to myself now. I have evidence that's all that matters, right? My evidence is the fact that I've gotten to this point through constantly just trying and figuring things out. This is simply the highest and most difficult thing I've ever done in terms of my artistic skills, is to visualize fucking like 3 dimensions, so 3 layers, 3 perspective layers, like the dimensions inside that and all that stuff. So I'm gonna rest my brain again, and then we're just gonna keep trying. And we're just gonna keep trying. So like I'm basically continuing to persist in believing in the process, because continuing to persist and believing in the process for the past 1,000 hours has resulted in my current ability, which is this, right? So it's like, okay, like if I can get to this in 1,000, what's another fucking 100 to figure this out slightly more, another 500 to figure this out? I have all the time in the fucking world, unless I die and then the channel dies. So that's just as a heads up, if this channel ever just stops uploading, it's because I'm dead. No other reason, literally no other reason, all right? So you can all mourn me in the afterlife. Actually, you can't mourn me in the afterlife. You would mourn my passing into the afterlife, because if you're in the afterlife, you're not really mourning. You're just vibing with me. Hashtag vibing. Anyways, fucking rest your brain. Yeah, so again, for full transparency's sake, I haven't really been able to see the sphere at all, like at all. So I need to continue to understand it to the best of my ability, right? And this is where the front plane, we don't really see much. And this is like, again, I'm trying to relax my hand while I do this, right? There you go. See, that's a little bit better. That's actually a decent amount better. and then same thing here, right? I'm trying to really visualize the sphere and the box. Obviously, I'm really struggling, by the way. I can't really see much, but I'm genuinely trying to see this front plane, the box, right? The sphere going all around, right? The center lines here, the center ellipse here, the contour, you know, the horizontal one. This one's I'm already drawing, right? And then obviously the center plane, right? And then this center plane. I'm not really seeing much of that, but I'm really fucking trying. Like, I'm trying so hard. I can't even explain. I mean, I can't explain. I'm literally explaining it, so I don't know why I said I can't explain it, because I am explaining. But I can't explain. It's so hard, right? And again, like, this is an obstruction, because, yeah, like, I'm drawing on top of this, but at the same time, it's getting in the way of my calculation as well, because I have to account for it, right? So, at least that's how my brain's working right now, but, let's see. I'm trying to figure out, like, the curve before I do anything, right? Because this, basically, what's happening here, like, what I'm trying to figure out is, like, just to really visualize this, right? And don't forget, it's three-dimensional, so it's actually like this, you know? And then this is what's happening here. It's curved around, right? And so it's like a curve that's going around, and then this is the edge of my sphere that's coming out. So I have to visualize so much. I have to think about so much right now. So again, we have like, what, 10 minutes before I'm done my practice session. So we just have to push the absolute fucking limits of my brain, right? Like, that is the goal. And right now I'm trying to think about the logic of this center plane, which should be roughly like this, right? Because the wraparound goes around and then it comes back. Okay, so that's the nuance. It's like, I have to understand, I'm understanding the tiny ellipse inside the plane, or like the smaller one, and the larger one that's wrapping around it. I'm basically trying to see this, right? Which is like, oh, look, here's a small one, and then here's a large one that's wrapping around. And that may seem simple, but for me, it's extremely difficult, because I'm also trying to think about the entire schema that's holding it all together, right? So, and again, like, this angle, this plane, I have a lot of difficulty seeing. Genuinely have a lot of difficulty seeing. So I'm just trying to figure out, I'm really leaning into it. It's like extremely difficult for me to see the center plane right now, this horizontal center plane, and also also just doing my fucking absolute best to see the sphere, right? To see the sphere, to see the schema, to see everything, bro. I'm fucking, oh, this is amazing. This is such a struggle. My brain is actually fried right now. It's genuinely, like, I feel such an intense, just absolutely intense, inability to see. And I fucked that up. See, I fucked that up. It's way too much of a curve. But I tried. And that's what I'm gonna be proud of. Oh, I tried so hard, right? So, let's see, bring that down a little bit. And again, trying to just trying to understand. And I probably want, like, again, this is like a whole nother layer of fuckery, right? This is just a whole nother layer of fuckery. And that's something I have to look forward to. Right? Because anyways, let's see, this is the bottom of my sphere. Probably this is a bit too close. This line is going to intersect, but this is the bottom of my sphere. This is my mental model. I'm really trying to see the mental model. Again, I'm really trying to see the mental model. Make sure the center is accurate, right? Very difficult. If I refer to this, it's also very difficult to understand, right? But I'm really trying to see, just trying so fucking hard, bro. Trying so hard. I don't see shit right now. It's gonna be wrong, but we're just gonna keep trying to calculate and understand. Let's see. Let's just do something like this. Oh, see, that's wrong. But let's just do that for my own sake of trying to understand, right? And let's try to think about the horizontal, right? The horizontal axis for what the fuck am I saying, bro? I can't think right now. Holy shit, the vertical plane, not the horizontal plane, the vertical center plane. Holy shit. So yeah, I'm experiencing output regression. I forgot to say that. Output regression is when it's the physical manifestation of the glucose that your brain is using has hit its ceiling. And it's when you're putting all this effort in, you're really fucking trying, but you can't see anything. So I've been experiencing output regression, right? Like, I can't even keep the sphere intact, right? But I've been experiencing it quite a bit, genuinely quite a bit. And that is actually exactly where I want to be. There you go. There you go. And let's see, let's close that off. There you go. That's not too bad. I definitely didn't. Oh no, it should have been a lot longer. Actually, it should have been a lot longer. Maybe. I don't fucking know. I don't know. I have no idea, bro. I can't see anything right now. Yeah, see, because this is gonna look very stout. So I fucked up. It should have been right around here. So yeah, if I did something like that, and then there you go. That's actually a lot better, right? It's still not perfect. I mean, but I'm not trying to aim for perfect. I'm just trying to fucking understand, right? And I'm trying to see the center lines, right? Trying to see. This is also should have been curved a lot more, but it's okay, right? And then we're trying to see the center plane here as well, and that would result in something like this, right? And I'm glad I fixed it, because it's like I have heard I'm just fucking stuttering all over the place, but I have heard that trying to or not trying to, but fixing your mistakes helps quite a bit with see, like, so I fucked up that curve. I want to be very clear, but fixing your mistakes helps quite a bit with understanding. So again, like here, and you have another plane that's essentially like this is like another plane, a vertical plane that is following this the same perspective, like that, right? And then we bring it over, and then we try to keep that in mind, right? And I've really been losing the box consistently. You can see, like, I keep making the same mistakes, where it's kind of a bit too stout. So I'm trying to figure out, like, what that is. Is that a curve issue? Is that an understanding issue, right? Same thing here. I'm trying to think about the vertical. Dude, my brain is like completely in output regression, by the way. I don't see anything. I'm be very clear. Like, I literally don't see anything. And even this, like the curve that I made, like I couldn't really calculate it as per the box or the schema in of itself. Like I just could not figure it out. And even this should have been a lot longer, but either way, let's see output regression, trying to think about the vertical. Let's try to keep everything in mind while I do this. Oh, see, I'm zoomed out right now. So if you're wondering why the fuck that curve was so shit, it's because I'm zoomed out. And let's see, something like, whew. Yeah, my brain is melting. Melting like an ice. Yeah, like, that's Nine in my girlfriend's song. I mean, it's very cute, but okay, let's see, like, let's just fucking try to get this curve. I'm trying to think about the bottom of the box, right? And we fucked it up quite a bit, but this is a bit too much of a vertically squished sphere, but it's still okay. And I definitely, if we try to ignore like all these random lines, I think the centering is okay, but you can see like a lot of other issues involved. Just this curve is a bit too much. It should have been more like this, right? Just that subtlety makes such a huge difference. See, and that line was too thick as well, right? I think that my center wraparound as well could have used a lot of work, right? Oh my god, there's so many issues. And that's because I can barely see the fucking schema, because I'm telling you right now, my eyes are warm. Like, my fucking forehead is warm as fuck. Like, that's the amount of effort I'm constantly putting in, right? So, like, I'm telling you, you're all capable of this. You're all fucking capable of this. Can't even speak. Capable of this. But anyways, let's try to see what the fuck I was seeing. Right, this was generally what I was trying to see. Wait, let's get the center down properly. It's like right there. Right, so yeah, and then this is, it's actually a bit smaller. There you go. Because I ended up creating a much smaller box, right? So like this is basically the center that I saw, like right around there. Because if we bring this over and then this is the center, actually this should be a little bit wider then, right? By the way, like, it's kind of like I'm reverse engineering my own schema right now, but this is generally what I was trying to see. This is, as you can see, like, it's not as if it's horrendous, it's just really shit. But I was just trying to figure this out, right? And obviously trying to see the center plane and everything. Like, this is obviously not that good. I'm gonna be very clear. And by the way, like, I know that when I finish these, I draw things wrong. Like, I can't think, like, I just can't figure it out. I can't figure fucking anything out for the life of me at this point, to be honest. Because there's still a lot my brain needs to understand. And basically, you know what I'm doing is, like, it's even more difficult because I'm taking the even longer, more difficult route, because I'm literally forcing my brain to build two schemas. One is with this one, which is already a fuckery in and of itself, but then the other one is this, which is the wraparound logic, right? So it's gonna be a while. We're gonna be here for a while, and by a while, let me be very explicit, likely for another 100 to 200 hours, right? Because that's how long it took me just to see an ellipse inside a plane, and this is much more difficult than that, right? So, and then we have the center ellipse. We're trying to visualize that. Overall, this is okay, but you can see I made a lot of mistakes. And again, this is the logic I'm talking about. We're like, oh look, we have a wraparound, right? It's wrapping around the box, right? What is the logic that's being applied? Because it's wrapping around the box, right? This is a box. This is also contained inside a box. Everything is just fucking manipulated boxes, by the way. What a goddamn shock, right? But it's also just wrapping around, right? Just, I gotta figure that logic out. This is also just wrapping around. Who would have fucking thought? Just like that. And then again, I need to think about the right plane. So it's like this. So this is actually even more. So this should have been way more of a, like, yeah, much more. What the fuck? Way more of a curve, right? And that's a good thing. I know. I guess I just forced myself to feel good there because having that understanding. And again, like you see how I have to constantly be able to understand the nuance and like how it's actually wrapping around rather than how I think it's wrapping around, right? Like, and this also, see, has a lot more of a curve. That's why this thing, when it's wrapped around, it looks like it's wrapping around kind of like slanted around the center, this horizontal wrap around, right? But because it has to be a lot more curved. So that's something I gotta really keep in mind. But yeah, fuckery all abound. But that was great. Again, great practice session. I mean, I obviously made it way too vertical. There's a lot of things that I'm still struggling to understand, but my schema is constantly being tested, right? Again, in some angles, right? Like in this bottom angle, actually it looks pretty bad for all of them, but this one it looks okay. There's like pretty consistent errors I'm making that I'm trying to figure out, but the thing is these errors are simply a byproduct of me trying to hold everything at once, right? So it really just comes down to the better my schema gets internalized, the better I'll be able to draw it initially in every angle, and then the better I can do that, the more consistent that schema is formed, the more updated, the more internalized, the more the more I can just hold these fucking dozens of calculations. My brain consolidates it, it chunks it, right? It reduces the energy required to visualize and to hold and to calculate over hundreds of intentional hours, right? Thereby, the wraparound will become a lot easier, right? Like, yeah, like the wraparound will just become a lot easier. Because again, the internal model has been validated. It's been fused, right? We've updated our neural engine, our 3D simulation, our understanding of space, and it's again your understanding of space and your understanding of form that will allow you to draw and to create forms and shapes that you want to, that you can create stories with, right? This is again like if it's not what I'm trying to say is like if you want to get good at drawing, you have to be a good draftsman. And if you want to be a good draftsman, you have to be good at understanding forms. There's no negotiable here. There's like, it's fucking non-negotiable, all right? And even if you're like, well, I know this one artist, their forms aren't that good, but their art looks amazing. That's amazing. That's awesome for them. And they would still be better if their understanding of forms was better. Right? Like you can get away, you can cheat a lot with good lighting and good composition and good graphic shapes. So don't get me wrong, you can get away with a lot, but if the goal is draftsmanship, or if the goal is just to have a really good drawing sense, to be able to create the world that you want, to be able to draw what you want, right, without being limited by your lack of ability, then surprise, surprise, build the fucking ability. Well, what a fucking controversial statement. But again, I'm just a guy yelling at a piece of paper every single day alone. I have to come up with stories. Perhaps this is true. Perhaps people feel this way. Perhaps they don't. I don't fucking know, bro. This is just goddamn 1 hour of isolation every goddamn day. But either way, I hope you tried. Hope you did your best. But I do again really stand by the fact that form is extremely important, right? And before anybody gets any misconception, this is not all I'm going to be doing. Again, I'm expanding the time horizon. I simply will become great by not thinking about tomorrow, but thinking about tomorrow 5, 15, 20, 30, 40 years from now, right? So, and I encourage you all to do the same, right? Whether you have pressing goals or not, yes, urgency is important, which is why I urgently want to understand this. That creates more neuroplasticity, that allows you to learn better. But at the same time, no matter how urgent you are, you can't fucking learn a language in a day. You can't just become a good draftsman in a week. It's literally impossible. And if it isn't impossible for you, congratulations. You're a fucking 1 in a billion prodigy that nobody should be compared to anyways. And you still have a right to be the absolute best that you can because you're capable of that. You're capable of putting that effort in, right? So I always end up saying this, but it's genuinely what I feel, right? What else? What other bullshit do I say? Oh yeah, I mean yeah, like it was a good session. Hope you really tried. It was fucking amazing. I really fucking tried to understand this, right? Really grinded my brain, right? And now, oh yeah, rest your brain. Rest your brain for minimum 10 to 15 minutes. No stimulation, no phone, no nothing, no external new information. Literally just rest your brain for 10 to 15 minutes. I just go lie down on my bed and I just think about random shit. Your brain is gonna be saving, consolidating, and updating the information that you learn and trying to update its understanding of the mental model that you've been building because you've been taxing your working memory because you've been drawing and thinking, right? So with that being said, I hope you put a lot of effort in. And as always, fuck you for watching. Keep drawing and please give me money.